Namaskar, a warm welcome to World News, and Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Navneet Singh, and with me is Renu Kataria, bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment, and more. The headlines. India to emerge as third largest economy of the world by 2029, likely to surpass Germany by 2027 and Japan by 2029. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to arrive on a 4-day visit to India on Monday, calls India a tested friend. Former chairman of Tata Sons Cyrus Mistry killed in a road accident in Maharashtra. India's President Draupadi Murmu to confer national awards to 46 selected teachers for 2022 in New Delhi on Teachers' Day. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to embark on a 5-day visit to Mongolia and Japan on Monday. In Asia Cup T20 cricket, India set a victory target of 182 runs before Pakistan in Dubai. And in tennis, Rafael Nadal and Iga Swiatek reach 4th round of US Open. Economy in the world by 2029. A State Bank of India report said India will surpass Germany in 2027 and most likely Japan by 2029 at the current rate of growth. The report said that the country has undergone a large structural shift since 2014 and is now the 5th largest economy, overtaking the United Kingdom. The path taken by India since 2014 reveals the country is likely to get the tag of the 3rd largest economy in 2029, a movement of 7 places upwards since 2014 when India was ranked 10th, it said. The report is authored by Soumya Kanti Ghosh, Group Chief Economic Advisor, SBI. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said, the International Monetary Fund's own forecast shows India overtaking the UK in dollar terms on an annual basis this year.
Economies which were far developed than India, economies which are comparable with India like the other emerging markets. And I'm not deriding anybody, but the reality is, at a time when multilateral institutions, whether they are World Bank, IMF or any other, who are looking at global economies, are clearly saying that many of these countries are on the verge of recession, and there are economies which are at a high risk of recession. Some of them 85%, some of them 15-16%. And the report also very clearly says that India is not on the verge of a recession at all.
Arvind Virmani, former Chief Economic Advisor, said that India is moving up the power scale, and according to the earlier forecast, by 2028-2030, we will become the 3rd largest economy in the world. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will be on a 4-day visit to India from Monday. During her visit, she will call on President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. The External Affairs Ministry said Prime Minister Hasina will also hold bilateral consultations with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will call Ms. Hasina. She is likely to visit Ajmer. This will be the 2nd visit of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina since October 2019. Ahead of her visit to India, Bangladesh Prime Minister described New Delhi as a tested friend, saying it had stood by Dhaka in its hour of need. In an interview to a news agency, Ms. Hasina said, Bangladesh always remembers India's contribution during the 1971 war. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina emphasized on closer cooperation between the two neighbors, saying there can be differences, but these should be addressed through dialogue.
India is our neighbor. We have very good relationship. We had many problems, it's true, but we solved many problems. Sharing of Ganges water, then our land boundary, maritime boundary. Then we had refugees in India for 2 decades. I brought them back, settled them down. When I signed Chittagong Hill Tracts, peace accord. So that way, and also, which is very, very important, I feel that exchanging the enclave, this is very, very important. Many countries, they just fight between themselves, but we didn't do it. With a friendly gesture, we solved this land boundary and also exchanged our enclaves.
The Bangladesh Prime Minister lauded Mr. Modi for evacuating students of her country stuck due to Russia-Ukraine conflict, as well as for the Vaccine Maitri program.
In today's Hotspot section, we have a discussion on the warmth of India-Bangladesh relations. In conversation are Rajesh Kumar Jha, Prasar Bharati Special Correspondent, Dhaka, and Abhineet Shukla, AIR Correspondent.
Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will be on a 4-day visit to India starting from tomorrow. This will be her second visit after 2019. The meet is majorly about deeper cooperation, sharing of river waters, connectivity, energy and food security, as well as trade and investment opportunities. What dimensions are the India and Bangladesh leaders going to talk about will be a major takeaway for all. So to get a better understanding on this, today we have Mr. Rajesh Jha, Prasar Bharati Special Correspondent in Dhaka with us. In recent years, both India and Bangladesh have gained an upswing in relationship, both in terms of cultural and historical ties. Mr. Rajesh Jha, what is the significance of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's 4-day visit to India?
Yes, indeed. You have rightly said that in recent years, the India-Bangladesh relations have gained an upswing in the relationship. This is what is called the Sonali Adhyay, the golden period of India-Bangladesh relations. And this is based on the cultural and historical ties between the two countries. If you look at the relations between India and Bangladesh, it goes back at least to 1971, 50 years, the time when Bangladesh became an independent country in 1971. The foundation of the relationship between the two countries was laid in that, because India played a crucial role in the liberation of Bangladesh, and that has strengthened, inspired, and continued to remain as a strong foundation and bedrock of the relations between the two countries. Beyond that, also, if you look at the culture, the language, and the people of the two countries, they share very deep historical ties that goes much beyond the 50 years. After all, Bangladesh has its national poet, Rabindranath Tagore is the one who wrote the national anthem for Bangladesh. Qazi Nazrul Islam came to Bangladesh from India. These people are equally assets and the great heroes of both the countries. And if you look at it, even Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in one of his speeches earlier, that Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is as much a hero for India as he is for Bangladesh. So now at this level, both the countries share a very strong relationship that goes back to history, culture, people-to-people ties, and all those things. Now in the recent times, the depth of this relationship can be seen in the fact that even during the time of the COVID pandemic, both the countries retained a very high level of interaction. Several high-level visits took place. The trade was continued, the bottlenecks in supply lines were quickly overcome, and both these countries continued to have exchange of high-level officials and delegations, so much so that in last year, that is 2021, when Bangladesh was celebrating its 50 years of liberation, also the 50 years of the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries, and the birth centenary year of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In that year, within a span of almost a year, all the three top dignitaries from India, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, the President, and also the Foreign Minister, paid a visit to Bangladesh. And these were the visits which were kind of the first visits of these people immediately after there was a little bit of respite from the pandemic. So all these things show the strength of these two countries.
During Sheikh Hasina's visit to India, Bangladesh and India are going to sign the MOU on interim sharing of water of the Kushiara River, which was finalized at the 38th Ministerial Level meeting of the India-Bangladesh Joint Rivers Commission JRC held earlier in Delhi on August 25th. Mr. Jha, how crucial is this agreement for both nations?
Of course, during the meeting between Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina of Bangladesh and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the MOU on the interim sharing of water of the Kushiara River is likely to be signed. It is a very important MOU which is likely to be signed, and the draft of this was finalized during the Joint River Commission meeting held earlier August 25. As you know, India and Bangladesh share 54 rivers. 54 rivers travel between both the countries, and it is an important area of bilateral relation. And Bangladesh and India have been working hard to evolve ways and means so that there is an equitable distribution of water. They are able to utilize the resources in a manner that is beneficial for both the countries, and in many cases to minimize the impact of flood and pollution. Now the Government of India and Bangladesh have been working, the Joint River Commission has been working on the sharing of water of 7 rivers of the two countries, and there has been some progress on that. The technical people have been working on that, and there would definitely be progress. India has agreed to share real-time data on floods with Bangladesh. Downstream, the rivers flowing from India and the floods taking place in both India and Bangladesh, sharing of the real-time data on floods is a very important part of minimizing the human cost, minimizing the economic cost of the floods. If you get the information on time, you can always prepare, and it is an extremely important thing. So this is one area in which the progress has been made, and both the countries are working hard to make progress on the sharing of the 7 other rivers which are in the pipeline. Connectivity is a key area of cooperation between India and Bangladesh. If you remember, during his visit to Bangladesh, Minister of External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar had said that if one is to look at the next 25 years of relationship between India and Bangladesh, the center of that relationship, the fulcrum of that relationship would be connectivity. And it is truly so. If you look at the India-Bangladesh relationship, the connectivity, the cooperation in the field of connectivity has grown in multiple ways. For example, look at the rail connectivity. As you know, before 1965 there were 6 interchange lines, there were 6 railway lines which were active between India and Bangladesh. They were all closed, but gradually India and Bangladesh have been able to open 5 out of the 6 railway tracks. And the 6th is also work is going on, and it is also likely to open in the near future. The rail connectivity between India and Bangladesh, if you look at the recent development, there has been a new train has been started between India and Bangladesh, which goes from Dhaka to Siliguri, which directly connects Bangladesh to the entire northeast of India. Large number of tourists from India would be able to go to Sikkim, to other areas of northeast, and not only to that, they will be able to go to Bhutan also. So it opens the whole channel of movement of people from Bangladesh to India, and also trade. If there is railways, is a far cheaper and faster way of trade than say the road connectivity. So in terms of railways, India has been working hard, and Bangladesh has also been trying to improve its connectivity with India in several ways. The Railway Minister of Bangladesh recently said during the inauguration of one of the projects being funded, the railway projects being funded by the Indian line of credit, that Bangladesh wants to make all its railway tracks, convert them into broad gauge. A large number of railway tracks in Bangladesh continue to be meter gauge even now, and Bangladesh wants to convert them into broad gauge, because that will mean a seamless connectivity with India, where most of the railway tracks are now broad gauge. Coming to another aspect of connectivity between the two countries, the issue of transshipment, which is a very important area. The location of Bangladesh is such that if the Indian goods are allowed to travel through Bangladesh, then they can travel from West Bengal to the entire northeast through the territory of Bangladesh in a much shorter and much faster way, at a much less cost than through the land route, which takes several times more distance to cover. India has been allowed. There was an agreement between India and Bangladesh in 2018 which allowed it to use the Mongla and Chattogram port for the transshipment of goods. Recently, just a day or two back, the 3rd trial run of a ship from the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee port in Kolkata coming over to Chattogram. Earlier, another shipment had come from Kolkata, the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee port, from Kolkata to Mongla, and from here the containers were transported to the borders of Meghalaya, to the borders of Assam, and the things were delivered into India. This has reduced the cost of transportation of commodities significantly, and that is going to boost the trade between the two countries, boost the efficiency of trade between the two countries, and that is going to be very important. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, in her interview with ANI yesterday, she said that Bangladesh has offered not only the use of the Chattogram and Mongla ports, but also the international airports at Sylhet and Cox's Bazar. Bangladesh, as I told you, its location is such that it could become a kind of bridge, a kind of connecting line between India and Southeast Asia. So that is very significant. In terms of the road connectivity, the India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway project is continuing. Bangladesh has expressed its interest in joining this highway project, and if it happens, that will again be something which will be very significant to enhance the connectivity between the two countries. So there has been a rapid progress in connectivity in terms of railways, in terms of waterways, in terms of movement through the waters, rivers and the ship. So this is something that is an important area of development between the two countries, and both the countries have been working regularly and working hard to enhance this facet of relationship between India and Bangladesh.
Sheikh Hasina has praised PM Narendra Modi's gesture of providing COVID-19 vaccines to neighbouring countries under its Vaccine Maitri program and rescuing Bangladesh's students who were stuck in Eastern Europe amidst Russia-Ukraine conflict. Mr. Jha, how much these efforts by the Indian government strengthened the bilateral terms with Bangladesh?
It is more than 2 years since the COVID-19 pandemic hit the world, and probably now people are kind of, the memory of the hard days and the most horror, the days filled with horror are probably fading from the mind of the people. But if you remember, when this pandemic struck the world, India was the first country to offer support to Bangladesh. It offered support in terms of providing vaccine, and it sent a couple of million doses of vaccines when the world was struggling. Indeed, India was also struggling to find enough number of vaccine, but considering the value, the importance of India-Bangladesh relations and its stated objective of working for the larger humanity and standing in a leadership role in the world, India agreed to send vaccines to Bangladesh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rajesh Jha.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Former chairman of Tata Sons Cyrus Mistry was killed in a road accident at Charoti in Palghar district of Maharashtra on Sunday. He was 54-year-old. Local police said the business tycoon died when his Mercedes car hit the divider on a bridge on the Surya River. Cyrus Mistry was going to Mumbai from Ahmedabad. Along with Mr. Mistry, there were 3 others in the car. Police said apart from Mistry, 1 more person died in the car mishap, while 2 other injured have been hospitalized. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, several leaders and personalities from corporate world expressed grief and shock at untimely demise of the business tycoon. India's President Draupadi Murmu will confer National Teachers Awards to 46 selected awardees in New Delhi on the occasion of Teachers' Day on 5th September. The Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education has been organizing a national level function on Teachers' Day every year to confer the national awards to best teachers of the country. The selection is done through a transparent and online 3-stage selection process. The purpose of National Teachers Awards is to celebrate the unique contribution of teachers in the country and to honor those teachers who through their commitment and industry have not only improved the quality of school education but also enriched the lives of their students.
On the occasion of Teachers' Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with the winners of national awards to teachers at his residence in New Delhi. The purpose of national awards to teachers is to celebrate and honor the unique contribution of some of the finest teachers in the country who through their commitment and hard work have not only improved the quality of school education but also enriched the lives of their students. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be on a 5-day visit to Mongolia and Japan starting from Monday. This will be the first ever visit by an Indian Defence Minister to Mongolia. It will further consolidate the defence cooperation and strategic partnership between the two countries. During the visit, Mr. Singh will hold bilateral talks with Mongolian counterpart, Lieutenant General Seikhanbayar. He will also call on President of Mongolia, Mr. Yu Kurilsuk. In a tweet, Mr. Singh said he will also visit Japan to engage with India's allies and partners. Mr. Singh said he will be attending the 2+2 ministerial level dialogue in Tokyo. The minister added that India seeks to strengthen defence cooperation and advance regional security and stability.
Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for the 1.3 billion citizens across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani Ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani Ke Saath, reliving the journey of India since independence over the last 75 years with All India Radio. From 15th August, the series is being broadcast on All India Radio, 100.1 FM Gold Channel, primetime news bulletins and across all its platforms. Tune in to stay updated with All India Radio.
In today's episode, we bring you the story of the Bharat Ratna Awardees from 2001 onwards.
In 2001, Nightingale of India, renowned playback singer Lata Mangeshkar was conferred with Bharat Ratna Award.
मैं उन लोगों को कभी नहीं भूल सकती हूँ. गाना बनाते थे, मुझे कहा करते थे, देखो लता, ये खास मैंने तुम्हारे लिए बनाया है. तुम नहीं गाओगे तो ये मैं गाना करूंगा नहीं. आज ये फिल्म देखते हुए मुझे सब लोग याद आए. मैं फिल्म इंडस्ट्री की बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ. जो एक लता नाम का पत्थर था, आज उन्होंने उसको भारत रत्न बना दिया है.
Hindustani classical Shehnai exponent Ustad Bismillah Khan was also awarded in the same year. In 2009, Pandit Bhim Sen Joshi, the celebrated Hindustani classical vocalist, was honored. In 2014, eminent scientist Dr. C.N.R. Rao was given the award.
I'm very, very grateful. Working not just been writing papers after papers, books after books. For the last 54 years, I have a large number of young people who have done PhDs with me, done research with me, and at the end of such a long career, if somebody looks at it and say it deserves an highest national award, I'm very grateful. I have got a lot of international awards in science, that is different. But getting a national award, my own country giving it, I think it's a great honor.
Sachin Tendulkar, the only player to score more than 34,000 runs in both ODI and Test cricket, was also given the award in 2014.
It's the biggest honor for me and I'm extremely delighted on receiving Bharat Ratna. I'd like to reiterate what I said a couple of months ago, that this recognition, this award, I'd like to dedicate this to my mother. I'm extremely proud to be born in this beautiful nation, and I'd like to express my gratitude for all the love, affection and support that I've received for a number of years.
In 2015, scholar and educational reformer Dr. Madan Mohan Malviya and seasoned parliamentarian and former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee were honoured. In 2019, former President of India Pranab Mukherjee received the honour. Educationist and social reformer Nanaji Deshmukh was also honoured in the same year.
मानव की जो समग्रता है उसके संबंध में ये निश्चित एक आधारशिला बनाई कि मानव केवल शरीर नहीं, मानव शरीर, मन, बुद्धि और आत्मा चारों मिलकर के एक एकात्म व्यक्तित्व है और इन चारों का संतुलित विकास यह मानव का विकास है.
Famous composer, playback singer, poet and filmmaker from Assam, Bhupen Hazarika, was also conferred the Bharat Ratna Award in 2019.
The reward and award dono mila, and I NFDC perhaps got for the first time. such money for a musical. Music was not inseparable from international films, you see.
Dil hum kare ghabraye ghan dham dham kare gar jaye ek boond kabhi pani ki mori aakhiyon se barsaye.
Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey has reached Nepal on a 4-day official visit on the invitation of the Nepalese Army Chief General Prabhuram Sharma. General Pandey's official visit from 5th to 8th September will provide an opportunity to enhance existing bilateral defense ties and strengthen cooperation in areas of mutual interest between the two countries. This is his first visit to Nepal as Chief of Army Staff. During his visit, General Pandey will call on the President, Prime Minister and the Chief of the Army Staff of Nepalese Army. He will also discuss avenues for enhancing India-Nepal defense relations.
UK will get a new Prime Minister on Monday. The winner of the leadership contest will be announced just after 12:30 British Standard Time tomorrow by Sir Graham Brady, Chairman of the 1922 Committee of Conservative Backbench MPs.
China and Japan on Sunday grounded ferries and flights as Typhoon Hinnamnor, the strongest global storm this year, blew its way past Taiwan and the Koreas with fierce winds and heavy rains. Cities in eastern China suspended ferry services and deployed more than 50,000 police officers to aid with rescues and guide traffic away from danger areas. In cricket, chasing a victory target of 182 runs set by India, Pakistan were 147 for 4 in 16.5 overs in Asia Cup T20 at Dubai International Cricket Stadium when reports last came in. Put into bat first, India posted a strong total of 181 for 7 in stipulated 20 overs, riding on Virat Kohli's 60 of 44. For Pakistan, Shadab Khan picked up 2 wickets. Earlier, Pakistan won the toss and decided to bowl.
In tennis, defending champion Daniil Medvedev cruised into the 4th round of men's singles in US Open. The top-seeded defeated Chinese qualifier Wu Weibing 6-4, 6-2, 6-2 to set up a blockbuster clash with Australia's Nick Kyrgios. The 23rd seed Kyrgios reached the 4th round with a straight-set victory over American wildcard J.J. Wolf. The thrilling 4th round clash will take place on Monday. In women's singles, Serena Williams was knocked out of the tournament. She lost a 3-set thriller 7-5, 6-7, 6-1 against Ayla Tomljanovic of Australia in the 3rd round. Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. The Hindu reports that Russia, India motivated to ensure uninterrupted defense cooperation, says Russian envoy. The Financial Express writes that Afghanistan is more important for India to ensure its security and strategic interests. The Guardian says warning of more floods in Pakistan as lake swells from monsoon rains. And the Rising Nepal says that Minister for Finance Janardhan Sharma has asserted that the Nepal's national economy was returning to normalcy.
A quick look at the headlines once again. India to emerge as 3rd largest economy of the world by 2029, likely to surpass Germany by 2027 and Japan by 2029. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to arrive on a 4-day visit to India on Monday, calls India a tested friend. Former chairman of Tata Sons Cyrus Mistry killed in a road accident in Maharashtra. India's President Draupadi Murmu to confer national awards to 46 selected teachers for 2022 in New Delhi on Teachers' Day. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh to embark on a 5-day visit to Mongolia and Japan on Monday. In Asia Cup T20 cricket, India set a victory target of 182 runs before Pakistan in Dubai. And in tennis, Rafael Nadal and Iga Swiatek reached 4th round of US Open. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Slovenia.
Upakar
And with that, we end this bulletin. We will be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.